There are business leaders out there who achieve what they want. And there are all the others. Leading is a discipline, an art, not a talent. You can learn it, you can even master it. Make sure you get what you want.
All right. Hello, Olaf.
I'm Sab. So now it's up to me. I interview you now, so to say. So here is this office.
Okay.
And always where people are together, you may have some people arguing with each other.
Right.
So you as psychologist, can you explain us how can I say this? Argue on a professional level? How to get these discussions going without someone crying or doors getting slammed afterwards?
Right. I think framing is very important. We do need to make a big distinction between personal arguments and professional arguments. Even within personal arguments, there are different categories in terms of, relationships, friendships, family. But professional ones are I want to say there's a lot more at stake in terms of affecting your livelihood. We don't want to go into the happiness argument in terms of are you happier if your personal life is good, or are you happier if your professional life is good? I think a good, natural, holistic balance is best. Diving into the professional category of arguments. Now, there are 2 or 3 types. So you can have an argument or disagreement with your manager.
Uh-huh.
You can have someone above your above you. You can have an argument with someone, one of your colleagues, so there's on similar level as you, and then you can have an argument with someone that's a part of your team. So let's start with the first one, because I think that has the potential to cause a lot of grief if you and your boss are having an issue. I think we discussed earlier on one of the podcasts in terms of how to change your boss. You cannot. You need to improvise, adapt, and overcome. If there's a disagreement between you and your boss, I think, and I want to see if you agree, I would do my best to overcome the problem in a productive manner. We made the example earlier of having assignments stack up. You can complain about it, you can whine, you can say, well, I don't want to do 3 assignments, or you can give your manager the choice. I can do A, B, or C. Prioritize, since they're your manager, and you can avoid that way. Conflict resolution can be very skillful there. I would go so far as to say most situations with your boss or disagreements can be avoided, and the onus is on you having a cool head, you being calm and collected, and that'll give you the best result.
Can we dive into this a little?
Yeah. So, for instance, you don't want to show up your boss, meaning even if you win the argument or you're right, you don't want there to be any negative lingering feelings. So Absolutely. You almost have to make them feel as if they won. There's a level of, yeah, hey, you're the boss. We could do it this way. I just think that going back to the assignment when you have a variety of assignments due, you can make it clear, look, I want to give you the best possible, product or income.
But wait, up. This is let's go for a more tricky one, because I understand this when it's on such a professional level.
Right.
I think this goes. I mean, especially between boys, this can be discussed with, and nobody calls it a conflict.
Yes.
Let's take a real conflict. There is this. Right. There is this meeting, this team meeting, and the boss always comes in without saying good morning.
Okay.
This shithead doesn't appreciate me.
Okay. All right. Good. Again, you cannot change someone else's behavior.
Yeah.
You almost need to, like I said, adapt your own behavior. One, you need to frame it differently in your head. So what we speak about framing a psychological term in terms of how you see a certain situation. If I go to a new place, I can see it in a negative way. I'm stressed out, don't know anyone here, don't know what to do. Or we can see it as a positive way. It's an adventure. You frame it differently. So your boss comes in, he doesn't say hello, he just sits down. You can frame it in your mind like, man, he doesn't value me. He thinks I'm a loser. He thinks I'm this. He thinks I'm that. And you're talking down to yourself. Or you can say, you know what? That's the type of person he is. He doesn't say hello. I'm going to say hello. If he says hello back, great. That's how, that's the only thing I can change. I can change myself. I can't change him. And that framing almost removes it as an obstacle or something negative in your mind.
That's a cool one. Yeah, that's a cool one.
I would say that's, I think, the most effective way to deal with that situation.
Can you frame everything?
Yeah. Yes and no. Obviously there's different situations, but I think most times in life we see things a certain way. We spoke earlier about moving to a new company and seeing things that just don't make sense. But if you ask someone who's been there, like, oh, that's how we've always done it. We go A, C, and B.
Yeah.
That's how we do it. And you can say, well, okay, I went A, B, and C. You know what? Let me come here, evaluate. Boom. It's so much easier if we do A, C, and B. The guy's right, everyone's right. Or we can say, oh, no, I think we should just do what I did. So I'm on I'm of the opinion that, yes, you can frame everything in a positive or a negative way,
and preferably do it as early as even possible.
True.
So don't let this spiral you down.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, it's a great example. So that's, I think we took care of having an issue with your boss. Let's move on to having an issue with a colleague, someone on your level. Those can be a little bit more tricky because your ego comes into it. You have a very high opinion of yourself. Most people do. So when your boss tells you to do something or there's a conflict with your boss, you can, again, we're using the word frame. You can frame it in your mind. Okay, he's the boss. He, signs my paycheck. Let me handle it and I'll go on my way. Now, the problem can be when you have a colleague that you say, wait a minute, this guy's on my level. Why is he speaking to me in this way? I asked him for a favor, he didn't do it. Or why is he being aggressive or whatever? It's a lot more difficult to do conflict resolution when it's someone that's on your level, because it's harder to explain it to yourself. Again, we spoke earlier about you're there to do a job. It doesn't help anyone if you have a conflict with somebody, and you need to frame that in your mind when you have an issue with somebody else. Obviously, we haven't spoken about specific examples right now, but do your best to keep the personal and professional separate. Take your ego out of the equation, and do your best to solve the problem as early as possible.
How can I? Well, let's put an example.
Yeah, let's put an example.
Let's take the same example again.
Yeah.
Same team meeting, and there's this one colleague of mine, and he always is in the room, I don't know, 5 minutes earlier. So I come in time. So he always sits there, and we always get in, say good morning, and he's not reacting.
Okay. Again, this is not something that you have control over. So you really need to frame it differently in your head. Are you saying hello in order for him to say hello back? Or are you saying hello because that's what you think is good etiquette, good workplace etiquette? If you're saying hello because you think it's good workplace etiquette, it should not determine, or him responding to you should not determine how you feel about it.
Ooh,
I'm going to go in there. I'm doing my job. Yeah.
I love it.
So his response should not dictate your response. your thinking as a good person working at a certain company, there's workplace etiquette, things you can do and things you should not do. It's good workplace etiquette to greet people. If he doesn't do it, then so be it. That's his methodology or whatever it is. It's his own personal issue. If you get into a conflict, well, why aren't you saying hello? It makes you seem like the weak one, and it also makes you seem like the one that's seeking conflict.
Yeah, good.
Right?
2 good points. 2
Yes.
very good points. Yeah, and let's go back to this one. The feeling in your brain or heart, wherever you think
Right.
is your feeling, is only a response of thoughts.
Yes.
So if you think that you are in this car and this person right in front of you at this flashlight, traffic light, brakes at yellow, and you think you could have made it, don't behave like a worm, you know? You chop the head off and it just does something, and you poke a needle in and it just always
Yes.
does the same. It's so many people become or get in a state where they don't want to be, in a negative state, a negative
Right.
feeling, feel anger, feel frustration, whatever, because something happens in the outside.
Right.
And this is the invite, and I'm very, very happy that you brought this up, Musab. This is the invite to decouple this, deconnect what you sense from the outside
Yeah.
and how you feel at the inside.
Yes.
I love this. I don't give a wet fart if he greets me or not.
Right.
Do I call him my friend afterwards? Surely not.
No.
Do I think he's an uneducated idiot? Well, that's your decision. But do this outside of your feeling space. Stay in a good mood, and I love it when
Yeah.
you go. I mean, this is this grandfather behavior. You know, going there and say, "You need to go."
Yeah. There's no point. There's no point. Almost in a way, have an effect on your environment, whether that be your workplace or personal life, whatever. Don't let the environment have an effect on you.
Yeah,
Go in there, command your space, do what you set out to do. Say hello, be friendly, be whatever. Don't expect anything from anyone. If he greets you back, great. He's a coworker, everything's fine. If he doesn't greet you back, great. He's a coworker, everything is fine.
exactly.
Yeah.
Love it. Yeah.
So that's, in terms of dealing with someone that's on
But
your
but
level.
let's go. We are not really in the dealing part.
Yeah.
How would you deal with this person? So like this person, I mean, this was the ignoring part. I
Yeah.
completely get it.
Yeah.
Completely get it. I ignore everybody who's not who behaves strange and all of these things. I can ignore this away. Yes,
Right.
works. So this person now, how do we create the conflict now? This person is not only not saying good morning or good evening or something like that. He's not doing what you and me would call good behavior
Yeah,
or
good
education.
etiquette. Yeah.
He's even rude when he talks to you.
Okay.
So, and he's a coworker of you, and so you gotta have, I don't know, projects together.
You have to have
and
interactions. Yeah.
You have something to work, and you have to have something together, which is something that you have to deliver.
Yes.
Your success is dependent on that person.
On that person. Yeah.
So, and he's just rooting around, if that word exists.
Right. The best thing you can do is to, I would say, obviously confront your problems, but I think confront is the wrong word, because in a confrontation, someone loses. A resolution would be a better word. Resolve the conflict. So, just go and ask him, look, man, we need to sit down and have a talk. I'm sensing some tension. I'll grab you a coffee. What's going on here? If you approach someone with that kind of, non-confrontational kind of resolution type of attitude, they'll let you know, maybe like, look, man, I really wanted to, lead the project that you were on, or I kind of wanted to be the one that was doing this, and I just, I can't stand that you're doing it, and that's causing issues for me. In that case, you can say, hey, look, I understand, but it's not something I have control over. How do we move on from this position? You know, if they just tell you, hey, I just don't like you. I don't like your personality. I don't like this. Again, that's not something you can change. If it's something you have power over it, change it. He says to you, hey, man, you always bring Bill coffee and you never bring me coffee. So I thought we have an issue. You're like, hey, no problem. You can solve that. It's something you can fix. If it's personality wise or if it's something that you have no control over, at least now you know the reason and you can frame it differently and move on. Those are really the only two options that you can have.
But I understand that ignoring in the minute when you can't do anything with it is still an option.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it has to be, it's a professional relationship. Now, if it gets to the point that because of this person, you cannot work effectively for the sake of the company, you need to bring that to the attention of a higher up, meaning, hey, look, this coworker and I are having issues. We're supposed to be working on this project, but we just cannot move forward because of an issue. Then you bring in someone that's higher up to kind of, negotiate and delegate what's going on, to speak to this individual, or you as a group, or have instead of a one-on-one meeting, just the three of you sit down in a conference room and have a discussion about what's going on. But I would say that's more of like a drastic last step.
Yeah.
So
bringing
management. Yeah.
Dad comes home and needs to solve the problem between the kids. This doesn't show maturity.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm with you. With you. And I think you can sense if this behavior is within this person or between you and this person.
Right.
So if everybody, if everybody tells you no, this guy, he just behaves a bit awkward.
Yeah.
Let it go. He doesn't mean it like this.
That's his personality. Exactly.
Leave it there. Exactly. So then okay, but if it's just between, it's a one-on-one thing, one-to-one thing, you and this person have an issue, then talking to him or to her.
Good. So that's in terms of a colleague, someone that's on your level. The last one would be someone who's under you, someone that you're managing. We spoke earlier of you being perhaps an external hire for a managing position, and someone under you was looking for that position or something. That's something you need to find out earlier and be informed about. There's nothing you can do about it. As we spoke earlier, it's not something you would bring up and say, hey, by the way, I know you wanted my position, but I'm here now. Haha. There's no, as we said, there's no positive outcome. If it has something to do with you delegating in a certain way, we're kind of on the other side of the table now. We spoke about conflicts with our manager. Now it's someone that's under us. You as a manager need to sense what's going on, or if you sense there's a problem, you have the power, you have the priority to bring that up in a one-on-one meeting, call the person into your office or go to their desk and have a discussion about what's going on. Like, hey, I noticed, you're not submitting things on time, or I noticed you're not responding to emails. It's things that you as a manager have the onus is on you. It's your ship. You need to fix the things that are not working, and so you have every right to bring that up. This is not a colleague. This is not a boss. This is someone that you're managing, and it's part of your job description to manage your team, whether that be with conflict or delegation or anything else. So, again, conflict resolution. In this instance, you already have the power. You are the boss. There's no need to almost like gloat in a way, or to make your employee feel like they lost this one, because that is going to affect their work in a negative way.
Absolutely.
You need to resolve this for the better of for the better of the company and for the better of this individual as a person. You don't want unhappy employees.
Let's go. Let's sum this up a little.
Yeah.
So, I would go so far and say you shall not have a conflict with your boss.
Right.
This is a complete stupid thing. You must avoid this on any level. Let's assume that your employees are smart enough to listen to the same podcast and they accept this as well.
Right.
A conflict, but let's go to this one a little bit.
Yeah.
A conflict between you and an employee of yours. Completely with you. Needs to be addressed as soon as possible.
Yes.
I would even say, let's see what your thoughts on this are.
Yeah.
If the performance, the output of this person is not affected,
Yeah.
I wouldn't care too much.
Yeah.
I would bring it to the attention of the person. Okay, here you have. We need a name for the bad guys. I don't want to use us in.
Let's say Bob.
Okay, Bob. Oh yeah, you're American.
Yeah,
we go
Bob.
for Bob.
Yeah, we do
okay.
Bob. Yeah.
Okay, we go Bob. Okay, so Bob, you have. I can feel that you have a tension with me.
Yes.
I have a slight idea that this is connected to whatever the event was.
Yes.
You haven't been given a promotion.
Yeah.
Whatever. I mean, you know your people. You know when this started.
Yes.
I don't like this. At the moment, I don't see that your performance output is affected by this.
Yeah.
If you want, I'm welcoming you to talk about this because I would like to solve this, but I'm not pushing you to this.
Right. Right.
Yeah, like as defensive as even possible.
Okay. Yeah. So you open the door.
Yeah.
Open
That's
the door
a good
for the
wording.
discussion. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. Okay. So solved. So to the top solved, to the bottom solved.
Solved.
So now colleagues.
Yes.
But he still doesn't respect me.
Mm-hmm.
That Bob colleague dude.
Yeah.
I mean, this is terrible.
Yeah.
I deserve some respect. I'm what do these think? How do I get out of this spiral?
Again, framing.
No, he doesn't respect me. I don't need your psycho stuff. I want that he respects me.
Right. Well, you can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
You know,
Sad
that's
but true.
That's sad but true. Exactly. So again, you need to accept what you cannot change. It doesn't matter. Let me put it this way. Even if you're a boss and you're speaking to your employee and you resolve the conflict, whatever, he probably still, maybe he doesn't respect you. He doesn't care what you say. But you're the boss. I have to do what you say. So I have to at least show you, a little bit of decorum and respect. Mm-hmm. Your colleague does not. Your colleague has no obligation to treat you with respect or anything. So the only thing you can do, and this is, reasonable to say in other parts of our life as well, get over it. He's not going to respect you. And if you keep on insisting at it and keep trying to solve an issue that's unsolvable, you're just going to keep putting yourself in a hole. So get over it. That's the only thing I can say.
And I think you need to say this several more times because this get over with. I believe lots of people fear they cannot let go because he touched my pride, my being, my me.
The ego, yeah.
And then they put so much effort into revenge or into education or whatever they do. But let's go back. You are there for output.
Exactly.
You are there for delivering, for your performance. Mm-hmm. Don't get distracted because Bob is an idiot. No, because you think Bob is an idiot.
Exactly.
You have no clue what really happened. And if Bob doesn't want to play the game with you, then you will never know. So ignore it. Swallow your pride and focus on delivery.
Perfect.
Cool.
Exactly. Great.
What's up? Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Cool one. Have a good one. Bye,
awesome.
man.
You too. Bye.